The International Corrugated Packaging Foundation's Circle of Distinguished Leaders honors exceptional individuals. Leaders whose vision, creativity, and energy have propelled the corrugated packaging and display industry forward. The three men we recognize and honor today epitomize the highest levels of personal and professional achievement and selfless giving to the betterment of others. Join us now as we induct these three special individuals into ICPF's Circle of Distinguished Leaders. Bates Container was started in 1963 by Warren Bates and Hardy Sanders.
Hardy and I started Bates Container in 1963 with a determination to make innovative quality boxes. And we started out with a 16L bread box that we had a patent on, and our basic big customer was Ms. Baird's Bakery.
Well, actually, we were broke the first 5 years and were kicked out of a couple of banks and had to sell a third of the company one time when we had a severe financial crunch. Fortunately, we were able to buy that third back, and in the 6th and 7th year, we began to turn it around.
And turn it around they did. Between 1976 and 2004, Bates added 3 additional plants in Texas. Hardy knew that the food industry would be a good base for the company and specifically targeted meat packers and food processors from the beginning. Bates had a number of innovations, but the most notable was the pre-glued infold. In 1965, Warren Bates and Hardy Sanders designed and sold the first pre-glued infold box that changed the whole meatpacking industry in the state of Texas. Other innovations included the hook lock box and pre-glued outfold box, a forerunner to the infold box. When Hardy met with Warren Bates in 1963, he agreed to become a partner only if Warren agreed to run a highly ethical company and hire and promote employees based on merit, regardless of color, race, or gender. Hardy was an advocate of civil and equal rights and sought diversity in the workforce. He believed in treating customers and personnel with respect and offered staff incentives to work hard and take pride in their work. These incentives included profit sharing, community service, and charitable giving. Hardy loved people and wanted everyone to be successful and fulfilled. This philosophy was central to his customer service approach. He promoted an idea of super service to quickly react to customers' needs and time constraints. Hardy believed in giving back to the community with both funds and time. He was actively involved with the arts, United Way, American Heart Association, and other local organizations. Through the years, he served on 30 boards, including Christmas Providers, Cook's Children's Hospital, the Women's Shelter, Fort Worth Library Association, the Cancer Care Center, and Arts Council. He was recognized for his efforts with the United Way Hercules Award, United Way Helping Hands Lifetime Achievement Award, Unitarian of the Year, Herman Smith Volunteer of the Year by the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, to name a few awards to his credit. Posthumously, he received an honorary doctorate from Meadville Lombard Theological School at the University of Chicago. Hardy was one of the founders of the Association of Independent Corrugated Converters and the International Corrugated Packaging Foundation. He served as president of AICC and was the first chairman of the ICPF. In 1985, Hardy was the first to contribute funds to get the ICPF off the ground. Since then, Bates has contributed nearly $250,000 to the ICPF. Hardy cared about people, whether they were family, staff, or strangers. He was a known storyteller, lover of good food and drink, and would never ask someone to give if he wasn't prepared to do so also. He was a family man. He and his wife Betty were a partnership. His family continues to run the company today, with son Mark as chairman, Betty as VP of Community Relations, and daughter Marcia is on the board. And the third generation, grandsons Guy and Alan, respectively, serve as the vice president of the San Antonio facility and director of process development for all 4 Bates facilities. ICPF's second inductee is Marvin Grossbard. Known as MG, he founded President Container with his brother George in 1947. This Brooklyn-based family business began as a broker-jobber company. In 1964, the business moved its operation to Moonachie, New Jersey to expand its capabilities as a corrugator plant. In 2010, it grew again with the opening of the company's new 522,000 square foot super plant in Middletown, New York. President Container Group is now one of the largest independent converters in the country. President Container started small, just one company in a single building. Years later, it has grown to 5 buildings with 4 specialties. The President Container Group consists of President Container, Artisan Display and Packaging, Tech Pack, and President Industrial Products. MG has always been a driving force in the business. His philosophy allowed President Container to grow and specialize in order to serve the customer. He believes that you need to have a strong sales force, excellent customer service, constant reinvestment in machinery, strong negotiating skills, honesty, strong financial sense with no waste, and good people around you to survive. He believes in putting the business first. His dedication led to an always available attitude. He and his family never let a crisis or customer wait for solutions. It is part of his customer service philosophy. He helps people solve their container and display needs, taking orders from 100 to 100,000 units and manufacturing them in the same plant. He also understood what it takes to successfully pass the company to the next generation. Only family members who worked in the company could have ownership in it. He limited the number of partners and bought out non-participating partners as the company grew. President Container has always been a family company. MG worked there with his brother and mother in the beginning, then with his wife, and now assists his sons as they steer the company into the future. MG is passionate about business. Coming from frugal means, he watched every penny and became well respected for negotiating hard, yet always making a fair deal. He knew that to have longevity, you have to be fair with people. It was with that same spirit that Marvin Grossbard became a founding member as well as a board member of both the Association of Eastern Corrugated Box Manufacturers and AICC Region 9. He additionally served as regional vice president in that early time. He also served on the boards of the Solomon Schechter of North Jersey and Yavna Academy to promote Jewish education, and served as president of his local homeowners association. While today his sons, Richard and Larry, run the operation, MG remains a vital part of the business. Every day he dons a suit and tie and visits the company. He attends business meetings and is still a fierce negotiator at the table. Our third inductee is Morton S. Ackerman, president of Ackerman Consulting Group, industry advisor and AICC Hall of Fame winner. Morton began his career in 1960 as an accountant with Seaboard Container, which later was bought by National Container. Eventually, Mort struck out on his own and founded M.S. Ackerman & Company. M.S. Ackerman became the foremost accounting firm serving the corrugated box industry, and when the Association of Independent Corrugated Converters was founded in 1974, Mort became the association's principal financial advisor, a post he held for several years. Mort's service to the industry spanned several decades. He was the principal architect of the AICC's Executive Council and launched the Ackerman Roundtable and founded AICC's School for Financial Managers and Controllers. In addition to his work supporting the industry, Mort was a prominent industry leader and philanthropist, serving on the boards of the American Friends of the Israel Philharmonic Orchestra and Inglewood Hospital. He is survived by his wife Jacqueline and sons James and Lawrence. It is with great pride that we salute Hardy Sanders, Marvin M.G. Grossbard, and Morton S. Ackerman. In honor of their contributions and achievements, we induct them into the International Corrugated Packaging Foundation Circle of Distinguished Leaders.